Okay, Betty White sent me this video yesterday. This Mark Dice video. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna have a listen. I think this is just Mark Dice railing against Biden. So let's get into it.
Thank God it's Friday because I'm tired of talking about Afghanistan, another trash can country in the Middle East that we shouldn't be.
A trash can country, yo. Wow. Wow. Well, okay. He is a right winger. I gotta. Yeah, Mark Dice does suck. Do you know who Mark? Yeah, they used to cover him on like DP, didn't they? Pretty sure they did. I've heard his name before mentioned in like DP circles. So I don't know.
Meddling in, but this withdrawal of our troops, again, which should have happened 19 years ago, has been such a disaster that it's too big for the media to ignore.
We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Like he could say anything and they'll just like, oh, look how much of a clown he is. Look how much of an idiot he is, yo. Even though like his speech that he gave was actually not bad. I didn't love it. I didn't love him going so hard on the Afghani troops and making it sound like they're almost just like lazy or whatever, didn't want to fight. I don't know. I'd have to look into that more though to know what the whole situation is. I'm not super well versed on this, by the way. Like I get the gist of it, and I've talked about it at length, but I don't know all the nitty gritty details of this situation.
Of course, old Joe's gonna have no idea what the heck is going on with anything other than what his favorite flavor of ice cream is, but
oh wow, burn. No one's ever thought of that before. Like, this is wow. Mark Dice does suck. Holy shit! Like, at least Razor Fist, like, made some arguments that could be construed as compelling, if you are so inclined to agree with this line of attack. But like, holy fuck! Like, he's ice cream, guys. Biden likes ice cream. Burn. Okay.
you would expect that the military leadership, the people who are actually following what it is that's going on the ground would. But here's General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
There was nothing that I or anyone else saw that indicated a collapse of this army and this government in 11 days.
Well, actually, there were, sir, but you missed it because you were obviously too busy.
I mean, I'll agree with him there. There's probably there were a shit ton of signs of collapse, and like that. I think anyone would have realized, like, if we pull out, there's gonna be a disaster. I mean, hey yeah, Vosh called it out. Even he was like, if we pull out, this is gonna happen. And yeah, it's happening. Which again, it sucks. And maybe we should have tried to do something a little bit better. Maybe we should have had like a better exit strategy. I don't know. But it is what it is now, I guess. It's not like we can only do so much to mitigate the disaster that's currently happening, which is basically get out as many fucking refugees as we fucking can. Cause yeah, I mean, even if we were to like go back in, I don't think like we could even like take the country. Well, actually the American military probably could if it really wanted to. But that would just, that would bring us right back where we started. So that wouldn't be good. But yeah, no, like we needed to pull out, like, no matter what. Like I love these right wingers criticizing Biden for pulling out again when it had to be done. Everybody agreed, right, left, everyone. Trump agreed. Like, okay, let's. Yeah, it's getting really hard to like distinguish these right wingers' arguments. They're all just saying the same shit about this. They're just trying to blame Biden. It's all Biden's fault, even though Biden probably had very little control overall as to the outcome of this, except for saying, "Hey, I'm pulling the trigger when it comes to pulling out because, yeah, this has been too long."
busy reading books about white privilege to pay any attention to that classified cable that was sent by U.S.
Ooh,
diplomats.
burn, fucking one fucking pamphlet about white privilege or whatever, about critical race theory, and like, yeah, that's all the military's doing, yo. That's all the military's doing, just sitting there trying to like learn about white privilege. They're definitely not doing their jobs or anything, you know. Holy fuck. Great respect for the military there, by the way. But whatever, he's not bolstering your narrative, so yeah, fuck him.
Which warned of this exact scenario. Someone who knows a thing or two about diplomatic cables, those digital telegrams sent between embassies in their parent countries, is Julian Assange. And here he is explaining what the real purpose of the Afghanistan war was many years ago.
Because the goal is not to completely subjugate Afghanistan. The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal.
Yeah, and we knew about this, and that's why we should have pulled out a long fucking time ago. And so what's your point? Why are you railing against Biden now for pulling out when, like, yeah, we should have pulled out forever ago. What did Biden do wrong? Like, I don't get it. What's the meme? What did oh, Annie wants to join me? Oh yeah, I can have Annie on. Here, let me Annie can jump in my live room.
Hi.
Oh. Yo, what up?
Mark Dice is fucking stupid, that's what's up.
He is. Hell yeah, Annie cameo, yo. You want to join me for this segment?
I do actually. I'm enjoying my time alone. It feels really good to be solo for a while. I can shout as much as I want. No one can do anything about it. It's amazing.
Hell yeah, yo. Do an impassioned Annie rant on this stream.
On Mark Dice?
Yeah. All right, here I'll play. Or do you want to say something now, or do you want me to play a little more?
I just play a little more, and I'll add stuff as I'm thinking about some stuff. But I'll just kind of unleash at some point. You'll see.
All right.
I.e., the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
Not only that, but
That's true,
Afghanistan
too.
is the source of one of the world's largest deposits of lithium, the component in the batteries of everybody's cell phone, tablet, and laptop. And, well, one of the dirty little secrets
Oh
of
shit!
the
I can't hear
Afghanistan
bitch
war
tits. I'm
is that-
sorry.
Oh, you can't
one
hear it.
sec.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Like, there's stuff that you got to do when you have someone on here. Fuck Mark Dice. Okay. Oh, I remember one thing I did want to bring up though while you're taking care of this. One thing that really pisses me off about these people is they always point to one thing, right? They always point to like one crazy example, like here's this pamphlet that was given out. Oh wow, they invited Anita Sarkeesian to come talk at the UN. Like I'm supposed to get so outraged about it. But do you know how many other people haven't been invited to talk at the UN? Do you know how many other pamphlets have been probably passed out in the army? Just because like one group of people entertains this idea doesn't mean that it's endorsed by the entire fucking group, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think everyone in the UN is trying to push a feminist agenda. Somehow I don't think that the representatives from the Middle East are like, okay, I'll hear out Anita Sarkeesian. You know what I mean?
I mean, they should, though.
Culture. Well, I mean, they... yeah, they would benefit from actually hearing something that she has to say, if anyone, but yeah, I don't know. It pisses me off. It's just like, I could easily do the exact same thing. I could point to some extreme, like, Nazi thing that's happened within the country within the past 5 years. And they'd just be like, well, you're just cherry picking, and that doesn't represent me. You just tried to do the exact same thing to the fucking left because you don't want to have an argument with people. You just want to fucking point to a straw man and be like, this is what everyone on this side thinks like. It's ridiculous. Fuck Mark Dice.
Yeah. All right. Let me know if you can hear this.
The big tech companies wanted that lithium. You would think that 20 years would have been long enough to steal all of that, but apparently it must be fairly difficult to mine. This is an article that CNN just released yesterday. The Taliban are sitting on $1 trillion worth of minerals the world desperately needs. And since they, well, hate us, they're going to be partnering with China to help them mine the rest of it. And you're not supposed to talk about the massive opium crops in Afghanistan, which, up until they finally realized what lithium was used for and how valuable it is, was one of their primary sources of revenue.
What's his fucking point?
Well,
I
okay,
guess he's
you
gonna
brought
get
up
to it, but like he doesn't seem to have much of a point.
No, that's the sad thing. He's making his point because he brought up that CNN article where they basically say the quiet part out loud and say that we need to be in the Middle East because there's resources there. Which at least like look, even though it's kind of like it's shitty to come out and just say that, it is the truth.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't like this idea that CNN just represents everybody on the left. I do not argue with everybody on the right as if they're being like like they're a fucking straw man of Tucker Carlson or Fox News or something. I don't look at people like straw men, and neither should them. But that's all they fucking have, right? Because when it gets to a one-on-one, they always fucking flounder because they don't have the facts on their side.
Yeah. Do we really need these minerals? No, but rich business people want them.
So.
Yeah. Well, they might. I mean,
some of them are obviously useful. I don't.
Yeah.
They're not all just like fucking frivolous. I don't want to make it out like that. But a lot of them, I'm sure, like, because look at how many gems are just like expensive for no reason. They don't serve a direct purpose.
Right.
They're
Well,
just expensive because the diamond market demands that they be. Just an example.
I mean, yeah, but we're talking about like lithium and shit that's like used in phones and batteries and shit. So like that is useful. Although,
okay, yeah, that shit is useful. Yes, of course, but. Yeah.
I love how like we've used up all the resources over here, so we've got to like take all the resources from countries who haven't even begun to develop yet in the way we have, and we're like we are just gonna like use up the entire planet's resources before any other countries can catch up.
That's why that's what's really sad. That's why a bunch of people think that the next resource war is gonna be in fucking Africa. They think it's gonna be in Africa, and all these fucking countries that have been fucked over for years and years and years, they're gonna get fucked over even more.
It might, yeah. But that's why it is our responsibility as Western nations to take in immigrants from these countries, because we are raping these countries. We have a moral obligation to give these people a home, especially when we are ensuring that these countries will never be able to develop the way we have. They won't be able to mine resources in their own fucking lands and be able to build fucking anything. They're going to have to rely on other fucking nations. How are they ever going to get a fucking ahead with nothing? That everything is gone. Everything is being taken from their fucking lands. Like, they have no resources. And like, a lot of these fucking resources on the planet are like, they're going to run out eventually anyway. And like,
oh yeah. That's why we need to start focusing on renewable resources.
Right. Which, no, there's not enough money in that. God.
That reminds me of when I brought up nuclear to Dave, and he was just like, well, you guys don't like nuclear. And I'm like, I just told you that nuclear is a good thing.
Yeah,
and,
nuclear is by the way, like solar energy is basically like nuclear energy. It's just farther away. It's
yeah. I mean, no, we should be focusing on all types of renewable energy, but like in the current,
we should be doing everything we fucking can. Yeah, if nuclear is, yeah, I'm not against nuclear. We just gotta have checks and balances. Again, just like I'm not against fact checking. We just gotta have checks and balances. We have to have like a system in place to make sure that these things are done properly. Like that's
yeah, no, I agree.
And by the way, like a lot of complex systems that exist today, that's how they work. There's checks and balances to make sure everything that is the way it is works and isn't misused. Like, sure, some shit's still misused, but like, all right. Let's get to an actual argument from this dipshit.
You're not gonna find.
Despite the ongoing opioid crisis in America for 20 years, our soldiers were literally helping the Taliban cultivate opium crops.
Good morning to you, Geraldo. Tell us what you've seen during your days there in Afghanistan.
Hi, Allison, Dave, and Clayton. Yes, in some ways, the Marines' brilliantly executed invasion of Marja, this town in the middle of Helmand province, was the easy part. The hard part now is governing this province, a province, as you suggest, that has become addicted to opium in many, many ways. That is the principal crop that is being grown here. Let me introduce Lieutenant Colonel Brian Christmas. He's the commanding officer of the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines.
Like, this is
really a
this
wonderful
is fucked up, but I don't know what his fucking point is. Is he just trying to blame all this on Biden? Like, yeah,
because like, okay,
the video title is Total Embarrassment, and it has thumbnail of Biden. How is Biden to blame for all of this?
Because he was involved in the government at the time. So.
Group of
okay, I guess.
Marines here. I know that you care
Which, like, I guess to some
about...
extent is true, but to just pull up some random clips like this, which have really nothing to do with him, and just say, okay.
Someone in the chat actually hit the nail on the head. They were like, not even a Biden fan, but he was pretty brave to take the political fallout for something that was Bush's fault instead of just passing it on to the next president like the others. Yeah, that's true. That's why, like, I can't be mad at Biden for this. I can't. It was gonna go badly no matter fucking what. Everything we were doing in that country was bad. Like, everything about the situation was bad. And leaving was gonna have bad effects whether we did it 10 years ago or now. But, like, the fact is, we had to pull out at some point. We had to. There wasn't another option. Now, there should have been better exit strategies. We should have, like, you know, I don't know. We should have got the UN involved, which why the fuck? I don't know. The UN seems like an ineffectual. They seem pretty ineffectual
Oh yeah, remember all they accomplished when Russia literally just fucking plopped Crimea into their republic without a fucking word after a quote unquote election. Remember that? The UN didn't do shit about that.
The UN should have its own fucking military, and it should not be. They should not be contracting the American military ever. Like all nations should be, including America, should be putting money into the UN so that it can fund its own military. In fact, America should have to cut a significant portion of its military budget and funnel it directly into that, so that the UN, especially because the Americans' military is something that a lot of other nations have relied on in a lot of ways, in ways that they shouldn't have had to, and two, because they've done so much fucking damage, they should have to do that.
I don't think the UN has like much of. There's not like they don't really like. There's not laws and shit like that. You know what I mean?
But there's national laws. There's like
Sure.
There's like the Geneva Convention or whatever. Like, look,
it would definitely be like unprecedented territory in a way.
I think the UN should be empowered more. I do. I think it should be built up and made more effective. It should have its own fucking military. Yeah, I get it. It's only useful for diplomacy and humanitarian aid, but it should be doing more than that. It should. Why like we rely on the American government to come in and get involved in every little fucking thing, or other governments?
Here's the problem with that. Like pretty much every single country, or pretty much every majorly recognized country, is in the UN. So like inevitably, if the UN had an army, then they would literally be sending members of their army to a member state.
But the point would be, in this case, there could be UN soldiers sent to defend Afghanistan from the Taliban, because they wouldn't be.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they wouldn't be fighting at one country or another. They'd be defending against terrorism.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll never happen, but I think it should. I think it should.
I guess it's not. It's not a bad idea.
The American military has too much unchecked power. There should be a military that's accountable to all nations, that is able to stamp out the American military if they get to, if they do something beyond the pale, which they're capable of. Okay, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like, hey, especially, well, yeah, it has. Well, yeah, no, it has, and it does. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm thinking of getting out of hand like Hitler levels, but like, it's clearly already gotten out of hand. Okay, and hey, if Trump, if someone like Trump was a little more organized, it could have gotten to those levels. So yeah, the American government, my overall point is the American government has had way too much unchecked power for a long fucking time, and it shouldn't.
This contradiction, the fact that here you have one of the best fighting forces in the world ever mounted,
by the way, we're not going to find it.
And in a sense, you're watching as this opium is being grown. I know it grinds at your gut. How do you deal with it? What are you doing about it?
Well, frankly, this is part of their culture. So while it might grind in my gut,
this is part of their culture. No.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Not when you're having them like harvest it for you and shit, and you're making it the trade of opiates a huge whatever. Yeah, no, like, again, America definitely has some blame in all of these fucking problems here. But what's Mark Dice's fucking point? Holy fuck.
What they do.
And this isn't for pharmaceutical companies. This is black market opium, which is, of course, the primary ingredient.
Though?
We get that. What's your point?
I just want to make this point. It's not just America's fault why the Middle East is fucked up. A lot of it's the fucking colonial nations, a lot of the colonization that was going on, like in the 1800s and shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, in the 1800s. Yeah, in the 1800s. There was a lot of fucking colonization that was going on around that fucking time. That led to a lot of the fucking shit is where it is today. Like, a lot of the recent problems, sure, that's because of America. But we can't deny that a lot of the original issues, that's because of fucking European countries. But honestly, I don't know. Like, it's important to know where those issues came from, but we just kind of have to deal with the issue in the here and now.
Yeah,
like pointing fingers.
Yeah, like playing Captain Hindsight doesn't really help anybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Juniper says, why fight the opium trade when you can enlighten the Hopium Brigade? Ah, clever. Hell yeah, Hopium Brigade. Maybe I should call it that. I've been trying to figure out a new name for my patrons. The Hopium Brigade, yo. I don't know. I didn't want to use Hopium Squad. I thought it sounded too predictable. I don't know.
A squad.
A squad.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
A squad of Hopium. All right, let's continue.
80% of which originates from Afghanistan. 80% of the world's
I don't know why
heroin
that made me
comes
laugh.
from Afghanistan,
but it's just like a stock image, like you have opioid addiction.
Yeah, opioid addiction. Oh my god.
Like, okay.
I want him to get to a fucking point. He's not making one. He's just like...
We're not going to find one.
He's stringing together a bunch of this bad thing happened, and that bad thing happened, and this bad thing. It's like, what's your... Oh my god. Like, why? Total embarrassment. Biden's in the thumbnail. What's your point?
Military's justification was that if we burned the opium fields, then the locals wouldn't support us, and then they would side with the Taliban. And I don't think that the American people have grasped the reality of the fact that the Taliban is allowed to have a Twitter account. Not some hidden Twitter account that only their members know about and somebody just discovered it. It's just out in the open. Like, Jack Dorsey's been questioned.
Yeah, maybe if we, maybe if we, like, had, an information, a fact-checking, organization, whose job it is to, stamp out radical extremist ideologies whose base their ideas on like falsehoods.
What? Because Twitter's hypocrites, the left is bad? What logic is this? That's your point? That's what it took you all this time to make the point of? Oh, Twitter said something bad and hypocritical. Everyone thinks that Twitter's fucking hypocritical.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Like Twitter,
Jack's jacking off. Like,
yeah,
we've said that before.
Lefties don't like Twitter either. Yeah, that's true.
Nobody likes Twitter. Nobody likes YouTube. Nobody likes Facebook.
Nobody likes capitalism either. We have to live under it. We don't get a choice.
Oh, this guy does. This guy.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he does.
About it and says they're allowed to keep it because they haven't violated the rules after committing an armed insurrection of a country. And unlike Joe Biden, who's hiding in his basement, hoping the story will go away, the Taliban is actually holding press conferences.
Hiding in his basement, hoping the story will go away? He just gave a press conference. He literally did something which, again, like the chat pointed out, something that was actually kind of brave. He's taking the political flack for this. He's taking it. Other presidents were too scared. He's doing it. He did the thing. He said, no, the buck stops here. Okay? He didn't just, kick the can down the road like every other president before him. Okay? Like, he doesn't, like, how is he hiding in his they're always going to say he's hiding in his basement now if he doesn't, like, do a press conference every 5 fucking hours. So, oh, where's Biden? He's hiding in his basement, yo. He's hiding in his basement. Fucking God.
Conferences and answering people's questions. And while it is surprising that the American media is still covering the story because, well, it's too big for them to sweep under the rug completely, they still do find the time to air their regularly scheduled programming.
This was him, the governor, at a crowded indoor event at a Republican.
Wait, yeah, they're gonna talk about that because it's big news, but they're also gonna talk about other news because other shit's going on, or they want to talk about other stories.
Yeah. no one thinks CNN has integrity. Very few people, boomers do, like the same people, like, it's basically the same people who take Fox News seriously, but on the opposite end of the aisle,
Yeah.
in most fucking cases. No one takes fucking news seriously.
By the way, this segment is called Don's Take. Wait, this is an opinion piece. He's getting mad because CNN dared to have its regularly scheduled programming alongside of a fucking major news story. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't want to tune into the news and just see the same story on repeat all fucking day. Okay, they're gonna stop watching because it's gonna be like, yeah, I already know, like, Afghanistan. We get it. It sucks. What else is going on?
This just goes to show how lazy they are, because of all the things to riff on CNN for, this is what you're gonna riff on CNN for? This fucking shit?
Yeah.
Just find a random opinion piece of some dude giving his opinion?
They're not only talking about Afghanistan. Yeah, Fox is far worse. But he's not gonna call out Fox because that doesn't bolster his narrative.
Yeah, Fox is worse, obviously, but...
Republican club meeting the governor attended just last night, maskless. He's been refusing mask mandates. He apparently refused to follow the CDC guidelines for indoor mask wearing.
We're gonna just listen to more of him than the actual dude in the video?
Because there he is, mask.
By the way, like, I know he's trying to, like, trivialize, like, oh, like, this story, like, how is this important? It's not just them, like, taking a jab at Republicans. It's them, first of all, letting people know, like, hey, this guy's got COVID. He's a fucking Texas governor, and he did this stupid thing, and he infected a bunch of fucking people, and everyone should know about it. Yeah, that should be in the news. I agree. There's nothing wrong with this story. Nothing whatsoever.
Nothing.
And in fact, like, we also should be shaming people who are elected officials who should know better, who are flouting mask mandates and infecting their supporters. Yeah, that should be known.
At this event.
And so far, Mr. Fauci hasn't commented on that new study about the plexiglass barriers, which have been set up everywhere, from grocery stores to restaurants to schools, which the New York Times has a headline reading, quote, "Those anti-COVID plastic barriers probably don't help and may make things worse." It only took the scientists a year and a half to figure out the obvious, that the barriers hinder the proper circulation of air in buildings.
The obvious.
And speaking of barriers, Dr. Fauci
like, you're a goddamn scientist, dude.
Yeah, and that's one article. I don't know how factual that is.
Anyone can make an assumption about something just by looking at it, be like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
We know that masks work, and masks don't exactly help you circulate air in your
No,
own
it's a piece
vicinity
of
either.
cloth. It's just a piece of cloth. How could it possibly work?
Although I don't like all the like plastic or glass barriers in, like, stores and shit, because a lot of, like, employees that are standing behind them are like, oh, now I don't have to wear my mask, or I can leave my nose exposed or whatever. It's like, no, you still stop. I don't want your COVID, okay? You come in contact with so many fucking people a day. Like, don't just do the barrier thing. You should be wearing a fucking mask as well.
All right.
God damn it. Are we at his point yet? I guess
behind one.
The
Not more
video's
than
gonna be
plexiglass,
over by
however.
the time we get there.
Yeah.
One made of steel bars. And if you agree, order my new Arrest Dr. Fauci shirt from my online
Oh
store at
my
MyBase.com.
God.
Jamie, the video's over. He never made his point, just like I
He
told
didn't
him.
make a point. He just vaguely gestured towards this all being Biden's fault somehow because he's supposedly in his basement.
Yeah, but Jamie, check out his shirt.
Yeah, that shirt, by the way,
That's illegal, probably.
yeah, should be. Okay.
It's not like a caricature or a drawing. It's straight up a picture, just fucking grayscale.
Yeah, and also the implication that he's a liar and a traitor to this country or some shit. Like, again, and the implication there is anti-facts about COVID. So once again, buy Jamie this shirt. No, he should not get a goddamn another fucking penny for this shirt. This shirt is giga cringe. But Mark Dice is giga cringe, so what do y'all expect? There's more to the video. Does he... No, it's just him pimping the shirt.
It's just him chilling.
Oh my God.
Jamie, I told you he wasn't going to make a point. Like,
Oh my-
I knew he wasn't going to do it.
What?
It's Mark Dice.
Yeah, well, hey, the chat wanted Mark Dice, so we gave it to them.
I know, it's fun. I'm glad because I feel validated now that he didn't make a point. I was almost hoping he wasn't going to make a point just so I could be like, "See, you didn't make a point."
God fucking damn it! No, God damn it! I fucked up.
Bile in my throat when I see a fucking note. I don't want to fucking choke. God needs an antidote. When I die, so she wrote. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing. If I'm what I eat, then I must be nothing.